Hey guys, we're going to do a quick review of what we talked about today in Social Studies 30. And so we talked about the Cold War, and we talked about the Cold War as essentially this battle of ideas between liberalism and communism. And so over here we have the USSR, which essentially was the world superpower and communist state. And we have America, which embraces those liberal capitalist ideas. And so today we talked about Cold War policies. And we talked about, for example, expansionism. So as the Soviet Union looked to expand their ideas and gain territory and ideological power, the West looked to contain communism while it looks to expand liberalism. In some ways that they do this is through things such as the Marshall Plan and Truman Doctrine. And so the Truman Doctrine is essentially when the American government offered money to countries that were under threat of communism in order for them to rebuild after the war and to embrace capitalist ideas. In the Marshall Plan was to look to extend this policy and extend this help to all countries who were facing communist threat. We also talked about proxy wars, and we talked about these proxy wars such as Afghanistan and Korea, when essentially the superpowers fought each other through smaller countries instead of facing head on. We talked of deterrence, essentially when they start to build up nuclear weapons to make combat undesirable. So nuclear weapons, although they're dangerous, actually made the world a safer place. Lastly, we talked of brinkmanship, and with the Cuban Missile Crisis would be the best example of brinkmanship. And brinkmanship is when both sides begin to escalate tensions up to the most dangerous point without backing down, and then eventually, when they get to that point, they step back. And after brinkmanship, we have the Dayton period in which things start to cool down. We get treaties being signed, such as SALT I, SALT II, and the partial test ban treaties. And so just a quick review of what we talked about today. Please make sure you go over your notes today, go over key events, and know why all those events are important, and go over the Cold War policies. Thanks guys, see you guys tomorrow.